What's going on, everyone? Sitting low, coming at you. Just working on this old pickup truck that I just picked up. Shining up some of the chrome stuff on it because it was pretty nasty when I first got it. Been working on just simple stuff, like I got the rear bumper all shined up. Rear bumper looks pretty mirror, as you can see. Although I haven't even hand polished it, I just pretty much been knocking the rust and the streaking and stuff off of it. Here, I'll come over here and show you guys the this is the driver's side exhaust tip. I haven't gotten to this one yet. As you can see, it's in pretty rough shape. Got some pitting, got some nasty rust, and it just doesn't shine at all. And same with the bumper. The bumper is in pretty bad shape, but you know, it's not perfect, but it's a damn sight better than it was. You can actually see some reflection in it. Over here, here's that other exhaust tip that I've done. You can see it's nice and shiny and chrome, has a nice reflection to it. So anyway, give you an idea what the rear bumper looked like before I even started it. As you can see, this bumper isn't in horrible shape, but as you can see, it is not in perfect shape. So what I'm trying to do now is just knock all the rust and pitting, get rid of all this dullness and all this. You can see there's some streaking going on and stuff like that from just water drippage over the years and stuff like that. And like I said, there's a million different videos on rust removal and stuff like that. I've seen the videos about using aluminum foil and Coca-Cola and stuff like that. And you know, although that works very well, the problem with doing the Coca-Cola is A, it's a sticky nightmare, and it just makes one hell of a mess. And the problem with the aluminum foil is that although they say it doesn't scratch the metal, once the aluminum foil gets all wadded up and you start, you know, jamming it into tight spots, it gets these sharp little edges on it, and it actually will scratch the metal, especially if you're, you know, really scrubbing on it. So what I use, here's what I use. See that? 0000 fine steel wool, super fine. You got to make sure you use the 0000. Anything, as you can see down here, is like a grading chart, and this is the finest stuff you can buy. And just good old WD-40. Get you some rags. Here's all you do. Just do a light coating on the bumper. Try to be more careful than I am. Let's trying to do this with one hand. Just give it a nice little layer. Grab your piece, that way it doesn't drip all over. And just start lightly, just lightly buffing, I guess buffing it into the chrome, because you're just trying to keep it from dripping at this point. So I'm going to do this half for you. And bear with me, I'm doing this one-handed, holding a camera, mind you, so it may not come out super perfect. So we got our first coat of the WD kind of rubbed on there. Now it doesn't hurt to let it sit for a minute, and plus I like to just saturate a little more. One can of WD will go a long way. Like, you'll be able to do an entire vehicle like this. Like I said, I'm just buffing it in, letting it, I guess, soak into the bumper, even though it's probably not technically soaking into the bumper. So the more it sits, the better. And you can see it's already looking better, and I ain't even really started yet. So you can see how dull this side is. You can see how this side's shining right up, but I haven't even started yet. Well, like I said, longer it sits, the better. But just for, you know, just to speed up the video a little bit, take your fine 0000 steel wool and start lightly. I'm saying lightly. You do not have to apply a whole lot of pressure. Just start going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Not pushing hard on it at all, because you don't want to start digging this into the chrome finish And the beautiful thing about the steel wool is you really don't have to worry about scratching the metal. And you can see here some of these finer, I mean, the camera's not going to focus in on it, but you can see some of this heavier pitting. You can just gently start to massage in there a little bit. Quick little circles. Like I said, just go lightly back and forth. And you start getting all these little tiny little rough spots. You just swirl right over them, and they just come pretty much right off. Now it takes some time. It ain't gonna take like this bumper, the rear bumper. I had about 20 minutes into making that one look the way it is, and like I said, I haven't even hand polished that one yet. After I do this, I typically like to clean it off again. And then use like a chrome polish like Blue Magic or something like that. Anyway, just see what I'm doing here. Just kind of lightly, that is the key word, lightly. I mean, you got to pick at some areas a little heavier than other, but you don't want to jam it into the thing. Maybe use your fingernail and pick at it a little bit, but I think you're getting the idea. See all these little roundy doos, these little tiny spots, little tiny stuff that isn't really deep and pitted, just it buffs right off. It's quite amazing. But the stuff that's a little deeper and a little heavier pitted, you know, you're gonna see those little tiny pits still, but hey, it's a lot better than looking at rust. So anyway, you get the point. Just buff, 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 and take a nice clean rag. I've already used this rag and made it kind of hit, so but you can already see that's looking about 100 million trillion times better than this. So the reason I like using the super fine steel wool is, like I said, it's super fine. You don't really got to worry about it digging in and scratching the metal all the hell, as long as you're not totally like got a lot of pressure on it. And the WD is just a good lubricant, you know what I mean? And that's another thing that helps prevent you from scratching the metal. WD provides a nice slippery lubricant, plus it helps just kind of penetrate into the rust a little bit. It's kind of, you know, I can imagine using a different rust inhibitor multi-purpose lubricant, but for the most part WD is available in every hardware store and pretty much anywhere you go. So I got a cleaner rag, so start buffing and boom. And like I said, I haven't even hand polished it yet, and it looks a far cry better. So you see it, 0000 steel wool, WD-40, some rags, and a little bit of elbow grease. Have this little bumper looking like a, you know, not necessarily a new bumper, but a hell of a lot better. Already did these valve covers. Valve covers turned out pretty nice, actually. They're not perfect, but you should have seen these valve covers. They haven't been cleaned in 20 years. They were pretty nasty. Door handles, everything turned out really nice. Even did the C10 badges. You gotta do the C10 badges. But yeah, just figured I would share that with you guys. And like I said, there's probably 100,000 videos on YouTube on how to remove rust from rusty bumpers and stuff like that, and chrome. And I like to restore a lot of old bicycles and car parts and stuff like that. So I'm always looking into new and interesting and easy ways for doing any kind of metal restoration. And like I said, the WD-40 and the steel wool, the fine steel wool, it always seems to work. So figured I'd share that with you guys. So let me know what you guys think. Thanks for watching, you guys, and give it a try yourself. And for today's extra content, here we have side-by-side comparison. You see the shine, the mirror. You see a little bit of the pitting still there, and you might see a little bit of a haze to it still, but like I said, this is just after the WD and the scrub pad, so once you do a nice final polish, final clean and polish, that's going to look pretty much like a mirror. So let's peel this tape off so you guys can see direct side by side. I mean, it went from all these nasty pits there's, you can see the tape line to, you know, still got the pits, but the bumper is like chrome now. You can see the line. See these old nasty bolt heads here. You see these looking prime. And hey, I figure just for fun, so you guys can actually see this in action for yourselves, do this little bolt here for fun. Soak it with some W-Dizzle. Then you go ahead over here, get your scrub pizzle. Let it soak in for a moment there. Let me do a little more. And just slowly, well, I'm going to do around here too, just so I don't scratch it. But start buffing away. Start going around and around. Bear with me, I'm trying to do this holding the camera in my hand, so it's a little tricky. As you can see, the head of this bolt pretty much cleaning up like brand new right before your eyes. And no, it is not magic, ladies and gentlemen. It is just WD-40, some super fine steel wool, and a little bit of elbow grease. Now another pro tip for you that I got. Where did I put that thing? It's around here somewhere. Here we go. Keep one of these little doodads around. A little cheap Harbor Freight pick, so when you get into some of these really tight spots, you just kind of go in and pick at it just like a dentist would. Pretend it's like a cavity on a tooth. You just kind of get in there, and that allows you to get in some of these really tight, tricky spots. Like I said, you don't want to dig, you just want to gently poke and massage it. And try to get in the crack as best you can. And make sure it's plenty lubricated with the WD-40. Just keep picking. Like I said, it's a lot easier to do without trying to hold the camera. Go around the steel wool one more again. Take our rag here. And you see it. It looks like a freaking mirror. Like I said, once you give it a nice hand polish, it really brings it out. So I went from that to that in literally not even a minute. And you can see the tape line, how disgusting it used to be, and all the streaking and the little brown rust spots, and you know, it's looking like, you know, a very presentable bumper for being 45 years old. So yeah, I'd definitely give it a try. So let me know what you guys think. Thanks for watching. Bye.